Oh, what's good, my man of society? It is your host with the most, Shadowloke, back at you with another video. Make sure you guys hit the like, the subscribe. It's free. It don't cost anything. You'll help my channel get into the algorithm. I would highly appreciate the support. You know, join the man of society, bro. It's free. You know, you can join all free stuff. As a matter of fact, we're not going to start until you hit that like and subscribe. You did it? All right. All right. Now, what we got to talk about today was everybody's favorite topic. 6ix9ine, right? Seems like everybody's been talking about him. I've been getting asked a lot, about 6ix9ine. If I seen his latest, response, his latest, song, and all that, right? And it doesn't surprise me at all. I actually seen this coming. All right, he did a song, basically, highlighting, him getting, jumped and stuff like that. Pretty much, grabbing it and trying to flip it on people, right? Saying that jumping somebody is weak and et cetera, right? And building off of that. And people are now, don't understand why a lot of people support him still, don't understand why a lot of people feel sympathy for him. They don't understand why he does what he does. And unfortunately, this is, in human behavior, right? Because we're going to talk about the psychology of 6ix9ine. In human behavior, even though we're all unique, right? We're all unique in who we are. We're unique in our DNA. We're unique in just being us, right? But our behaviors are not unique, right? Meaning we share similar bad, traits, amongst us. Some people are alcoholics, some people are drug addicts, some people are liars, some people have gambling problems, some people can't help but to, stir up the pot, some people can't help but to spread, rumors. A lot of people have a lot of bad traits, right? One or multiple of them, or, to some extent, right, have at least, committed one of these acts. So when it comes to overall human behavior, all the proof you need is history, right? History and how individuals have behaved and why they do what they do, right? Is where a lot of the evidence comes from, right? To back up these claims, right? Of human behavior. Because even though you have serial killers like Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, John Gacy, and, et cetera, they are not unique overall in general. Like, Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't the only cannibal, serial killer. There's been multiple, and et cetera, right? So, behaviors, overlaps amongst individuals. It takes the perfect storm, but the perfect storms do exist, right? And that's, what to back up, the claims when it comes to overall psychology, criminal psychology, human behavior, and all of that, right? When it comes to 6ix9ine, what makes him, act this way or why he does what he does is not that he's really doesn't care, or he's, this individual who's just down or is just plain dumb. It's none of those things. This is, 6ix9ine, Danny. This is him actually going through a real life crisis in his life, a real life personality disorder, that we're seeing it play in front of us, that people just don't understand. Going based off of what we know about 6ix9ine, right? So he used to be a blood, right? He was running in the streets of New York and claiming bloods and doing all kinds of stuff, and he ended up flipping and stuff like that. Shows a lot about Danny's character. Not that he's a weenie or a rat or a punk or none of that. It shows the neglection in Danny's life. Danny was just somebody who never felt like he fit in, who always felt like he was outcast, somebody who really, he felt invisible, right? To those who who he wanted to be recognized. He probably didn't really, he probably had a hard time making friends. Probably wasn't, probably was neglected by his parents. Um, he just really felt outcast, right? So when you have a child who suffers from, um, you know, multiple of these categories, is that they tend to now start to act out, right? To gravitate attention. Once they realize that, by them doing something dumb or saying something dumb or them creating some kind of havoc, now brings the spotlight on him. Now his parents pay attention to him. Now people recognize who he is. Now he feels like he finally feels like he's important, or he can be seen. um Now it becomes now his overall personality, right? So he says the most outlandish things, he does the most crazy things, including with his hair and tattoos and all of that. He does all of that to seek attention, right? For people to notice him, because he feels like if he doesn't do none of this stuff, that he's irrelevant, not important, that he just and he craves the attention so much, because he went a period in his life not having it, and he doesn't want to go back to feeling like that. So he's holding on, you know what I mean? He's holding on to what he feels like is the only joy that he has ever felt, even though it has come with all kinds of obstacle courses and all kinds of negativity and stuff like that. At the end of the day, he's willing to put up with that, just to at least feel accepted or relevant. Look, no one really wants to be by themselves. Nobody really says, I don't need nobody. People that say that is because they need somebody, right? We're emotional creatures, right? Human beings in themselves, we need to interact with other human beings. You know what I mean? Creatures in themselves, even, when you see a lion or a wolf or any animal that, strays away from its pack, its herd, tends to die a lot, sooner than, being in the pack. It's unhealthy, for, how can I say, isolation, loneliness, and all of that is very, very damaging to the overall mental. That's why, the SHU programs in prisons and all that is a horrible idea. And, a lot of things that people do is horrible ideas, but, people tend to want to believe the science, at their convenience, right? They say that all this is bullcrap and this and that, and science, what do they know and what they will? But then when it comes to them getting sick, they go running to the doctor because they have the answer and the medicines and all that, because science works. Right? At the convenience. It's funny. But when it comes to Danny, right, and overall his, mind state, he feels like this is, he needs to do all of this in order to feel, relevance. And this is not me taking shots at him, nothing like that. Like I say, I don't care about, what he did and stuff like that. He didn't put none of my homies away, you know what I mean? That's up to them over there and everything. Like, I'm not saying that I condone what he did, because in general I don't. Not because the street code and stuff like that. Is that you need to take responsibility for your actions. You decided to be a part of all of the madness. You decided to antagonize, go create, and be a part of all the insanity. It doesn't matter what these individuals did to you or what they were doing to you. It's irrelevant. At the time, you were still in the herd and doing all of this and that, and it didn't matter then, so why does it matter now? You know what I mean? Why is it an issue now? Just looking for a window in order to you to feel better about your overall decision of why you did what you did. But truth of the matter is that no one forced you to go and do none of those things. You went and tried to do it because you wanted to seek attention. And now, right, that you felt like, because he's terrified of prison and jails and stuff like that. Why? Because there's nobody around. There's no audience. He needs an audience. He needs people to see his hair and his antics and all of that. He needs that attention. It's literally what keeps him. It's literally what wakes him up in the morning. If he feels like it's literally all he's got. Right? So being isolated and stuff like that, not because he's overall scared of the inmates and stuff like that. Overall, he probably is and stuff like that. But it's more about, the bigger picture to him, right? is what he dreads. It's not even the financial. Like I said, all of that is an act and a gimmick to keep this illusion going, right? That he created for himself. It's very unhealthy because he's self-destructing, and people don't understand that, so they egg it on, and they add more wood to the fire, right? By supporting his overall behavior, right? By supporting his disrespecting people and stuff like that. This is not about street codes and stuff like that. It's overall respecting other individuals, which he chooses, to always disrespects. Now, why does he get a lot of support, and why do a lot of people side with him and everything? The game has changed. The game has watered down. The game... No, it has nothing to do with none of that. First of all, people have to understand this is the internet. This is social media. This is not the streets. A majority of people on social media, online, and voicing their opinions and stuff like that are not gang related. Have nothing to do with gangs. They don't even like gangs. I don't know if people are aware of this. Not that many people like gang members. They don't like gang members. They don't like what gang members do. They don't like the lifestyle. They hate gang members. They hate how we live. They hate how we think. A majority of society hates the way we think and how we live. Right? So now you have somebody who's sticking it to them, right? Who's mocking them or mocking, everything, not knowing that they're actually, digging the grave for him, because an individual is not going to care, and something bad is really going to happen to the individual. And because you guys think that that this is acceptable, these are very dangerous individuals. Not by no means am I saying to bow down to them, but when you want to choose to antagonize them and stuff like that, it's going to create problems. And I get it. People want to see them get the W and want to see them stick it to these individuals because of their hatred towards these individuals. But at what cost? At another human's life? And then it's like, oh, well, after the next, because they hold no emotional attachment of 6ix9ine, so it's like it's irrelevant, It was good while it lasted, right? The getting it your way, I guess you could say. A lot of people hate gang members, bro. Because obviously this lifestyle is bad and stuff like that, but a majority of times it's because they don't understand, right? These individuals overall, right? But I understand the lifestyle is bad and you get nothing good out of it, right? It's all true. But it's overall understanding the mental of these individuals. And we get nothing out of bickering, fighting, and, now getting your backs, you know what I mean? It's going to fix nothing. But I get it. Everyone wants to satisfy their ego. It's an ego-driven world we live in. So that's why he gets a lot of support and everything. They don't want to see this lifestyle win. They don't want to see these guys win or get their way. This is the internet. Now, although people could claim that they're G's and they claim this and that, in all true reality, no real gang member supports this individual. No real gang member is actually backing him up or actually, the streets don't believe his behavior, what he says and everything. The internet believes it. You know what I mean? Because this is the internet, because they want to believe that someone like him could, actually, stick it to them and actually, win and stuff like that, right? I guess he represents like the underdogs, the people that were probably picked on by gang members or maybe lost a loved one to these individuals or the lifestyle in general, right? So they want to see him get the W and these guys obviously take the L. You get what I mean? Like I said, it's all, to satisfy one's, personal opinion, right? That's why he gets a lot of support and stuff like that. So it's not that people actually, fly with him and stuff like that. That's the reason why people say that, that it had to be fake. Him getting jumped had to be fake, or that it's all staged and this and that, because they don't want to see this individual take the L and these individuals take the W. They don't want to see the streets win, bro. They don't like the streets. And that's what people have to understand. So when people be like, how could people support this individual? Oh, man, this is crazy and everything. Bro, stop thinking that you're in the streets. This is social media. This is entertainment. This is not the streets. I guarantee you, you grab 6ix9ine, you put him in the streets and any of these hoods and anywhere, whatever, he'll get destroyed, bro, and it's just another day off to the next. He knows that. Although he plays the charades at going to hoods at 5 in the morning and when no one's around and stuff like that, knowing he himself, knowing damn well he knows if he goes when he knows, how to do it, whatever, he knows that he won't last and survive, bro. I mean, shit, everybody does who knows about the streets. But obviously, the ones that want to see the streets lose or who don't know about the life, that's why they be like, oh man, he be doing all this and that, and no one be touching him and this and that. You get what I'm saying? Knowing damn well, do you not watch the news? There's bodies being dropped every single day, bro. The streets do not play. One of the scariest things, or what would be worse, is thinking that the streets are weak, thinking that these individuals won't do nothing, thinking all of that is the worst thing that could be possibly, thought, because you're going to put individuals now going and acting like these individuals, or now going to these areas and not wanting to antagonize and all that, and it's going to get them hurt. It's going to get them even to lose their lives. And because you wanted to paint a lie. Stay away from those areas, stay away from them individuals. You don't want to antagonize them. Call it weak, or they need a group, or whatever. Call it what you want to call it. But trust when I say, you don't want to antagonize them, bro, because you will get hurt. And that's not to make them seem crazy or down and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's just the true reality of things. You know what I mean? Just stay away from them and just let them be. You know what I mean? Because, he literally creates these problems. He goes online and he antagonizes these individuals. He mocks them still. And it's like, he's going to meet the person who's not going to care. And it's sad, bro, But like I said, it's because, not because, the trolling or the money, is because he really feels like that's all he has, and the only times he's ever felt acceptance, and he doesn't want to lose that. It's understanding his overall mental behind this. I'm not here to show him sympathy and everything like that, because no one should behave in this manner. Nobody should really, be insulting dead ones and all of that. And, because even though we see gangsters in a negative light and a negative, lifestyle and everything, society, how it sees it and stuff like that, that lifestyle is wrong. Very true. But his behavior is also wrong too. You know what I mean? And two wrongs don't make a right. Right? That's what I'm saying. But overall, that's my breakdown and opinion on, why I think he behaves and why he does what he does, and, the situation. But what do you guys think? Do you guys agree, disagree? Leave it in the comments. Shadow, we out.